The Pemon, indigenous people of Venezuela, have a rich history and culture. They are deeply connected to the lands they have inhabited for centuries. However, in recent years, they face significant challenges due to conflicts with the Venezuelan government. The Pemon struggles began escalating when the government established the Arco Mining Orinoco National Strategic Development Zone in 2016. This project led to the encroachment of mining activities on Pemon's lands, violating their rights and damaging their environment. In addition to mining disputes, the Pemon have faced displacement, inadequate healthcare, and limited access to education. This situation has forced many Pemon families to seek refuge in neighbouring countries like Brazil, exacerbating the already dire circumstances they face. Furthermore, the government's response to illegal mining and squatting on Pemon land has been insufficient, resulting in increased tensions and protests. These struggles have highlighted the urgent need for recognition and protection of the indigenous rights in Venezuela. The Pemon's ongoing fight for their rights serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of standing up against injustice. I have the privilege of speaking with Tony Rodriguez, the secretary of the captain of a Pemon village. Tony has a deep understanding of Pemon's struggles, as he himself suffered displacement from his home. He's instrumental in advocating for the rights of his community. Let's hear firsthand from Tony about the challenges faced by Pemon people and their efforts to preserve their culture and their way of life.
Ok, ¿me puedes decir un poco de la cultura y historia?
Can you tell me about the culture and the history of the Pemon people? Well, my name is Tony Rodriguez. I am an indigenous Pemon. At the moment, I am the secretary of the communal captain Pepe Fernandez. Let's talk about the Pemon people. We are Torapan. Within the indigenous Pemon people, there are three linguistic subgroups. They are Pemon Aracuna, Pemon Maracato, and Pemon Torapan. Within the three groups, we belong to the indigenous Pemon in general, and we are differentiated through accents. We, the Torapan, speak slowly, while the Pemon Maracuno speak a little bit quicker, and people from the Aracuna also speak slowly. But we understand each other in almost 90% of language, and we belong to a linguistic group of Caribe family, a big group that from the Spanish conquest, from the Venezuelan coast to here, we are the Caribe family. And among the family is the Pemon. And where are these indigenous people? Yes, originally the Torapan people are in the frontier zone between Brazil and Venezuela, and the frontier zone between Brazil and Guyana, and the Ciudad Bolívar zone and inland. What are some of the practices and traditions that continue in the Pemon community to this day? Well, nowadays, as Torapan, and for generations we're mainly farmers, and have always practiced agriculture for family survival. However, nowadays we work in tourism, as an active generation, and craftsmanship. How has life changed with the internet, technology, and how have the youth adapted to this? And has it helped? Yes, it's helped a lot, but there is a positive part and a negative part. As such, on the positive side, most of the group of indigenous students, the technology has helped with investigation and communication, with family and study, online or on the internet. On the negative side, our young Pemon have used technology for the vicious side of things, so it has done a lot of damage and harm to the indigenous Pemon. What are the most difficult things for the Indigenous Pemon? And how can we, outsiders, help with that? Well, nowadays, what we visualise is to defend Indigenous people's rights. But we're not hearing about these rights because our Indigenous leaders, instead of defending the Indigenous people as such, they are a spokesperson for the government. They should defend their own right as Indigenous people. The case for Pemon people is difficult because as students, as Indigenous lawyers, we always defend the Indigenous case as such. When we're united, but the community leaders, the sector leaders, the student leaders are very divided, this has a very negative effect on Indigenous people, but it can be resolved, it can be restored. Being united, we will always stand for the strength and the rights of the Indigenous people. Other examples of Indigenous music and art? Yes. Well, here we always celebrate our cultural festivities, promoting our culture and our dance, and our typical dances, especially to fortify our identity and include our grandparents for them to participate in the festivities and in our dances, and in this way to activate and update our youth so they can learn their culture in accordance with the Indigenous music and dance. When do these festivities happen? Well, in December. In December, we have Indigenous gastronomic festivities. In December also, we have dancing encounters of the Pemon people. So in these moments, we instill in the children and the young the typical Indigenous dances of the Pemon people. Tony Fernandez, thank you for talking to me. As we conclude this journey through the Grand Sabana and the world of Pemon people, I'm left with a deep sense of admiration and humility. The resilience, strength and connection to the land displayed by the Pemon people in the face of adversity is truly inspiring. Throughout the interview with Tony, I gained a unique insight into their struggles and the importance of preserving their culture and their way of life. Their stories have touched my heart, and I'm honoured to have been able to share this with you. I hope that this video has opened your eyes to the beauty and challenges of the Grand Sabana and the Pemon people. May we all be inspired to support and advocate for the rights of Indigenous communities worldwide. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Until the next time, take care, keep the adventure alive, like and subscribe if you like adventures, and if you can help to fund my journey, there's a link in description of this video.